And we're live. Look at that. We're right back. Here's all crazy, but it's Monday. We're live, and man, this hat is dirty. But we're back at it. I knew eventually, in my heart of hearts, we would be back to the Monday, somewhat morning lives. It's what time is it? It's 3 in the afternoon. That's about close to. It's closer to morning than we've been in a while. So Monday, early afternoon, mid afternoon, live stream. And time doesn't really matter because right now we're going to focus on the importance of now, a now moment. So what do we have right now? Right now we have this live stream, which everybody's been waiting for, Monday Lives to come back, sitting in the office and going live. And we're going to talk about why it's the most important moment in manifesting. Maybe second most. It's debatable. I like right before bed being the most important time for manifesting because you're already falling asleep. It's easier to get into stats and easier to slip into that feeling of the end state. But really, that's a present moment. And right now, we have a present moment, so we could choose to live and experience and be the version of ourselves that has and does what we want to have and do. John, what's up, brother? It's good to see you as always. Hey, Nick. Hey, Elaine. Good to see you as well. Welcome in. Thank you for the reminder on that one too, Mike. I know that name. So welcome in, guys. Yeah, we're back with our Monday lives. Not morning, but mid-afternoon. And I always like to try to have a theme to come in and like jump off with. And I think the power of now is important because I was having a discussion, and I guess we could always add into letting go. And I need to fix this desk. Also the power of letting go. So I'm going to keep this story anonymous. It's a person in my personal life, but he was going through something where, he had been pulled into a situation he didn't want to be pulled into, made an agreement that he didn't really want to make an agreement to, and he felt pressured to follow through with this specific agreement. Now, I felt bad for him because it was a hefty commitment and sucked that he got pulled into it. And he called me for advice about like wanting to manifest out of it. He didn't see a way out, but that's kind of the bonus of like, I'm not his coach or anything, just someone close to him. But how do you get out of something that you don't want to be a part of? Same way you would get into something that you want to be a part of, right? We're trying to manifest money, opportunities, SP, whatever. Well, this guy wanted to get out of this obligation he locked himself into. And he called me and he's like, okay, well, let me get that free session. I'm like, all right, let me tell you what you need to do. I was like, it is on a time crunch too. The thing was coming up in 2 weeks. And I'm like, right away, I don't like the time crunch idea. I've manifested on a time crunch before and I've been successful with it. But you know that I've also not been successful with it because when it's something very big that you really want to avoid, you're now putting the energy out that I want to avoid this and it's stressing you out and the stress causes fear. And we have a whole video like the past few days talking about fear being excitement for what you don't want. So I said, number one, you have to drop the fear. And a way to drop the fear is, and this is something most people don't want to hear. I didn't want to hear it, but here, how do we drop this fear? Accept the possibility of the reality that you may have to fulfill that obligation. Same thing when it came to SP. It's like I accepted the fact that, hey, I'm probably going to get, not probably. If manifesting doesn't work, here was the situation I put myself in. If manifesting doesn't work, I'm not going to have this. And if I don't have this, am I still going to go on with my life? Yes. But it's funny, it's like a contradiction. That's why I talk about manifesting is the simplest yet most complicated thing in the world. I accept it, right? I accept that, hey, there is a chance we are never together again. If there's infinite realities, that is an obvious, it's a decision that happened. There's a reality where that never happened. But I'm just choosing to live another one. It's like, so what? I feel good to live in this one. So I told this guy, I said, okay, you want to avoid this obligation. How does it feel knowing you're out of it? And he was venting. He was mad. He was pissed off. And he's like, Mama Delia, what's up? He was pissed off. He was mad. He's like, I want out of this obligation. And he just wanted to complain about how the situation happened and the circumstances, this and that. I get it because I've been there. And I learned this from Inked a long time ago. When I was teaching already, I'm thinking you got to deny, because that's what I did. It was how I got everywhere. It's like, I want to deny these circumstances, but the more you fight and deny something, the more you're kind of locking yourself into it, because you're putting attention on it. Wherever attention goes, energy flows. So I said, you have to, dude, you have to remove the energy from it. And he goes, I know I'm not going to have to do this. And it's bullshit, but I know I'm not going to do it, but I just want to be mad. Let me be angry. I'm like, you're a human. Have a human experience. Be mad about the situation, right? So he's mad about it. And he starts thinking about excuses. But he goes, but I don't want to give an excuse. If there's no way to manifest my way out of it, okay, I want to remove the obligation, right? And I'm like, yeah, you can do it where there's like nobody's butt hurt, everything's fine, and you don't have to use any made up lies. You could be honest and real with it. Oh, Courtney, what's up? So, all right, that's the point where he was, and he told me what he did. And I'm like, number one, you have to relax, feel the emotions, relax, let it go, accept that, hey, this might happen. And it's like, no, I'm fine. I will fulfill the obligation that I don't want to do if it comes to that. But if there's a way out, which I believe there is, and that's what he told himself, there's a way out of it, he'll get out of it. Well, he relaxed. He went for a walk. He was angry. He was all pissed off. He went and into a meditation. I guess he just said he was trying to relax. And he said he felt very numb and relaxed, and just said, okay, I accept it if I have to go, but I know I'm not going to have to go. And then as he's texting to confirm everything, he gets notice that he is required by his family to do something for his family that removes him from this obligation. And it's going to be something where there's no hard feelings. He has to, because the stuff that he was going to do for his family got pushed back another week. And that week was the week that he was committed to something else. And it's like, God damn, he literally said, I will fulfill it. I'm accepting, if that's my fate, I will do it, but I'm just relaxing. And he's trying to put himself into this. He said he just wanted to get neutral. And I told him, I'm like, you want to be neutral too. So he relaxed. He goes, I just felt like good and relaxed. And he goes, and I sent it. And it was like, there was no hard feelings when he told them he couldn't do the favor for these people anymore. There was no hard feelings on it, and everything relaxed. And it's like, he didn't have to lie. He didn't have to make an excuse. He didn't have to be an asshole. All he had to do was accept it, relax, trust that there is one possibility there, focus his attention on what he did want, and he just got neutral, relaxed, and then boom. He focused. I told him, all you have is the present moment. Same guy struggling with traumatic loss of somebody too. And he's been harboring that feeling of loss. Let's see. I'm going to read the comments real quick and I'll get on to his loss. Oh my God, I actually made it to a live. Yes, Inked, you're here. And it's funny, we were just texting too. I should have messaged you. I was getting on, but I just started. Purges are hard, man. Yeah, they are. When stuff purges out, it's like, okay, you got to stay true and avoid you just realize, hey, this is the old story. And no matter how much it's in your face, push it away. So let's continue with this other story that I want to tell you guys too about. He was another reason why the present moment and the now moment is very important. Is the same person, he was struggling with grief of someone he lost, and he's like, I have to hold on to these memories of this person, and I'm the only one who knows stories from this person who passed away, and the more I struggle to remember their stories and stuff like that, I'm like, well, number one, and they're gone forever, and we can never communicate again. Well, I believe in what Neville says, and what I've experienced personally is that nobody's ever truly gone. They've moved from one life to another. Like Neville says, you died, but you're not dead. Like your energy and your soul is still alive. And I told him, I'm like, what do you have in the present moment? You could sit back, because he's like, all I remember is like the horrible end of that person's life. I said, no, but why are you remembering that? It's the same thing with people with the SP. Like the SP was like, it's a great example for everything too, when you can base everything off that, because that's the most high, not the most high stakes, but it's a very high stakes emotional roller coaster. And if you can learn it there, you can move it to anywhere. I said, the person has passed away, right? But you're not, number one, you're putting that pressure on yourself that you have to remember all these memories for everyone else, and thinking that person wants you to do that. That's something that you made up for yourself. Then you're only remembering bad memories of the person getting sick and passing away. Same thing when it comes to an SP journey. People are like, oh, my person, when they broke up with me, they were acting like this and they were like this and this was their personality, versus you've experienced a better version of them. So why not focus on those memories? If you're thinking of the past, you either have a good memory or a bad memory or a neutral memory of something. Which one, if there's no memory of it, then obviously it has to stay neutral. But usually if you have bad memories of someone, like even like those jerk off bosses I've had in the past, I've had good memories with those same people. So I would have to, when I was trying to change situations with them, I would focus on those good memories if I'm giving attention to that. Because remember, wherever attention goes, energy flows. So I told this guy, I'm like, that's the power of the present moment. And then when you're thinking of the future, obviously in his case, the person has passed away, so it's not going to be something with a future event being together other than when you pass away as well. But I'm like, for anyone in the specific person or the future events and stuff like that, if anything in the past is traumatic or triggering to you, this is why I said I'm not really big on the revision, because it doesn't, to me, it's not a preferred method. I've had successes with it, but it, like, now I have to remember, for so long there's like, I never had success, then I had my little success stories with it. For me, it's easier just to go back and put attention on something I was happy with versus going back trying to change something I wasn't. Let the dead bury the dead, right? Like the Bible says, like Neville says, let the dead bury the dead. Let that old story just die off by removing attention from it instead of revising it. Obviously, revision is for stuff that is really gut-wrenching and traumatic and stuff that bothers you. You could revise the story, but more or less, it's like, let's just go to the preferred past event, because all you have control of is the present moment. And if you're thinking of something full of anxiety in the future and fear in the future, or something traumatic and upsetting in the past, that's what you're experiencing now. So every moment you move forward, you're choosing what your emotions and feelings are going to be through the thoughts you're thinking, which are either about the past or the future. So the more you think about something that's been hurting you, and I'm guiltier than anybody on this, remember, this is a big reason on once you have an SP and then you lose them, it's like you keep focusing on the bad things that have happened. And it's very hard to move past those things. That's why I said forgiveness is important, because the only person suffering when you don't forgive them, it's like that person don't give a fuck anyway. So by you not forgiving somebody, it's just you drink, you drink poison hoping they get sick. That was a line my dad used to say when I was younger. And that was the definition. Well, I got this light on, wasting energy. Wasting energy right there. Holding a grudge and being angry at somebody or a past event or upsetting event is a waste of energy, like leaving the lamp on while it's bright out. All right, let me go back to the questions. I dropped my hard feelings about Santa SP, and he just popped up on my Facebook. There you go. And then let's see. I'm manifesting a new job for my girl, and right now they are working on her legit 7 days a week. But they're working her legit 7 days a week and leaving her so exhausted and depressed. She doesn't want to talk. Well, Austin, I'll tell you that that's something that my SP had gone through before too. And I was, still at that point, I didn't tell her anything, because we did go through breakups after that. So I was still learning manifesting. It was like, actually, after our first time getting back together, I'm still learning all of it. So I knew where she had the job, and I knew what kind of connection. Like, so supposedly she had someone to hook her up with a better job. And I'm actually doing the same thing for my mom right now. She's being worked to death at her job. So, Mom, if you're watching, I'm manifesting for you, and everything happens at the right point in time. When I was doing it for SP, it's like it was easy because it was a good story already fed to me a little bit. It's like, oh, I know somebody in this department, and the schedule will be this and this and this. So she gave me so much information. It was so detailed. It's just like, oh, she works this time. And you know what? I know, because I wanted a promotion too. Mine took like 1.5 years to come through from this point, almost 2 years actually from this point. But it's like, how does it feel? We're both on the same schedule. We get out, we're going to the gym together. She's much more relaxed. She didn't have this. She had this crazy hectic 12 hours a day, and then like 3 days off, but then like working like crazy hours, and she was too tired to do anything. That's like around the time I first met SP. So I'm just like, how does it feel? She has a normal thing. Her telling me stuff about her kids, just real quick, like little flashes of stuff. And then I drop it. That's like we talk about the detachment and leaving alone. It's like I would drop it, but then listen to her tell me these things and then go back to it whenever it came up. And it was like on and off for like a week or two. And then I think it was like the time where we split up. And then by the time we got back together, I was still thinking about it for her. And when we got back together, it's like, oh, she told me the same thing. Also, what does this have? Yeah, there we go. She brought me this back from her trip to the Grand Canyon. And I have some coffee while we do this. Hopefully it doesn't taste like Raid. And I sprayed Raid on the windows over here so we don't have a repeat of last time with the bugs. She also brought me these nice Cohibas. Cohibas are a top-notch brand. So if you're watching, I will be smoking that now. And then the last thing, and this lighter with the wolf on it. Because why? We're the motherfucking Mystic Manifesting family. All right, let's see. Before I even light the cigars. This is Courtney and Aaron talking. Adro, my brother. I love that. The wolf in the blue always. Sweetie, I shut out private right now. I can't have family harassing me about what I can do. Oh, they're talking about the ghost channel. Yeah. So she shut down her channel temporarily. If you guys were looking for Inked, aka the Ghosted Woman. I saved the saying you mentioned before. Today is the day it happened. I'm cool if it doesn't happen today, but the excitement of it coming at any moment is a boost every time. Bart, I love that. I'm glad that you saved that too. And if you got that clipped on your phone and you want to email it over, feel free to email it over because I'm horrible at clipping stuff. If you guys find that stuff too and then you want to send it to me and you're on the Discord or you want to send it through email, sometimes I like to know the things I say that are valuable because I know what's valuable to me. But then there's stuff that it's like not as useful, but stuff I've used in my personal journey. It's like going to the gym. If I'm a personal trainer, there's exercises I do that I would recommend to other people, but they don't like, or ones that I know I've done in the past, but I don't use them as much. And I recommend them to other people and they love them. So if you guys have things that you like that I say, clip it and email it to me at mysticmanifesting@gmail.com. I know usually Gary does some clips for me, but I'm actually putting together some stuff right now, some little motivational edits because, I've always seen this sometimes, like when I was manifesting, it's like I would love manifesting motivation. Like I work out to motivational videos. So I always wanted videos where it's like good, like motivational music playing in the background. And sorry, I lost my train of thought for a second. Good motivational music, cool clips of like people working out or stuff like that if I choose to watch it, or like traveling and things like that. And then stuff from like fitness people that I would admire, but I was like, what if there was Neville and Joseph Murphy or the other like coaches that I admire or like now that I'm teaching, and it's like stuff that I say, but sometimes it doesn't click like what resonates with you guys. Like when I was saying balls to the wall manifesting, I never knew that was a thing until you guys brought it up to me. But yeah, I'm working on a couple edits right now. One of them's with the stuff Tom Platz says. Man, this ad is as hell. But I'm working on some stuff that some of Tom Platz says more motivational things in terms of like the stuff he says. It sounds like manifesting, which it is. And then like a little bit of the video. There's I think it's like a 6 or 7 minute video that when I went to the bodybuilding show, my mom took it of me and him chatting and like talk about fitness and dieting and stuff. But it does. I haven't watched the whole clip all the way through yet, but I do know we tap into a little bit of manifesting chatting real quick. Audio's not the best, so I got to find a way to raise that up. But then some things that I've taught and lived through and stuff like that coincide, making a cool edit with that, and I feel like that's something. So I'm glad Bart brought up the clipping of stuff, and I'm glad it helped him. Nick, remember how I told you I let go of SP? He's trying to find me a car and told me he loves me. Ain't it crazy? Didn't feel anything though. Ink, that's crazy because we literally just had that conversation fucking 20 minutes ago. What do we say? Manifestation is instant. Just like the guy I was talking about earlier who got involved in the obligated thing, that he obligated himself into a situation he didn't want to be in and wanted to remove himself without no hard feelings to anybody and stuff like that. And they got called by his family to do something that was supposed to be done 1 week before, but it got moved to the same week of that, and he got out of that obligation with no hard feelings or no lies or anything. And that happened within a matter of like 2 hours or 3 hours, I think. Your thing happened within 30 minutes to an hour. So manifestation is quick. It's just when you let go, letting go, and also what is that guy Lindell Warden say, who was Neville's student? Let go and let God. Very true. Courtney says, "Let me know if I can join you. You can find me everywhere at. Oh no, I can't. Now I'm not gonna say that name. Oh, sorry, side combo. But yeah, as soon as you drop it, boom. Um, I have more pressing issues to really care about what SP is doing. My kids come first. Exactly. And that's the thing why I always say find other stuff you care about, not because you're trying to follow these other passions to get your SP, but you're doing other passions because you love to do them and it's something for you. Do something that you want to do that makes you happy. And I always recommend it. And it was something I didn't do enough of. That's when you start to notice that, oh, I missed this much life. I've been manifesting for this long. Why? Because you didn't live life. You put your life on hold. And then when you actually looked up to see how long it took, it's like, oh, it took this long, or you keep checking and delaying it. The SP, the specific person, that is a byproduct, a positive byproduct of you being successful at what you want to be successful at. I work out to Mystic Manifesting. Wolf Tech. Well, I'm glad that you do, Courtney. I did. Oh, I forgot. There is like 3 motivational videos or 4 motivational videos that Gary did put together, and they're very good. I felt what's it called? I felt weird listening to myself on them, but Gary put them together in a way where it's like I was able to listen to my own voice. I gotta reach out to him. I haven't heard from him in a couple weeks. Yes, as soon as I decide I like how other SP treats me, I wake up to Facebook plastered with Santa Claus. Exactly, Courtney. And what have I been saying in your situation too? It's like, don't just say you're grateful for the new SP or the way you're being treated by other people because you're saying it to get the original SP. You're saying that because you genuinely love and enjoy that. And now when you finally genuinely loved and enjoyed it, it was a form of detachment and accepting that the other reality of not being together is there, but then it opens up the thing where you can now be in that specific person situation if you want it. Well, funny side story, I've been toying with the idea of getting a gym membership. Now my bestie got one and she wants to bring me in the morning. Never mentioned it to her either. There you go, Ink. So look, all you got to do was think you want to go to the gym and an opportunity presented itself where it's for free. I listen to your videos while I'm working. Matter of fact, I'm listening while working now. Just don't tell my boss. LOL. Austin, that's awesome. See, it's funny because like when I was doing all this, and there's people that I listen to still for like other things like podcasts and stuff, and it's like sometimes I forget. It's like that's a negative self-concept, I guess. I forget that I am somebody that people do watch, and I do try to keep my videos longer and put the comedy in them, and have a personality with them where it's not just all boring and people could actually laugh and enjoy themselves. When I know, especially a lot of this stuff is stressful at times. I'm gonna finally light the cigar. You mentioned you scripted at times. Do you make certain lists and drop it, like only write original statements and not rewrite the same desired outcome daily or more than once? Well, Bart, for the most part, yes. I'm going to be honest. I was actually just looking. I have one manifesting book here. My dirty secret, my dirty habit is empty, 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 and about barely a quarter of the book filled up with stuff. And then, here's another book. This is why I always don't have the right notebook. I do like this. This is from that other website, but it's like empty, 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 empty. And then this one I was using for journaling. And here, I'll give you the thing, Bart. It's like when I'm doing a mini manifestation, I'll write that stuff down one time and not look at it for a while, right? Or I'll do something like this. Me currently on one side, and then the ideal me. So it's like low self-concept, bummy looking, out of shape, no friends, anxious and depressed, stuck in a job I don't like, can't do anything without my SP, no direct goals. And then it's like, and then I write down high confident, high confidence, more appearance conscious, strict training and diet, which I'm on now, and it's like all these things on this side. That's me now. So I write down the desired version of me on one side and the where I'm at now on the left, and I write that down, and I know that's going to come true. And I just like the surprise of going back later because I know so much that it's going to be true when I'm writing it down that everything I need to do is going to present itself. It's funny right here. This one could be crossed off too. Things I'm going to do for me. Those were things I could actually take direct action on. And it's like training every day, tanning every day. Those things are crossed off. Buy myself new suits and shoes. I forgot to do that back then. Just it was not as I put it down because I was doing it to get something more or less, and it was something I like, nice shoes and suits and stuff like that. But then I got kind of lazy on my appearance in terms of like dressing up. It's like I liked just more casual stuff at the time. But I was just not even an hour ago thinking I'm like I want to get a new suit, and it was something I'm gonna do. And now, what are the odds I opened it to that page? And I wasn't on this page earlier. Clean the condo, clean the car, and I just came back from cleaning the car yesterday. It's already crossed off, but that's something that's like repetitive to do. Buy a new TV. I'm actually waiting on somebody who's going to give me one. It's just been taking months. It's like, oh, I'm going to give you this TV. There's really no hurry for it. I don't need it. It was just something I wanted, but someone's giving me a free TV. Decorate the condo. That could be crossed off because that's done. Still more to decorate. But see, I write stuff down like that to answer your question, Bart. I write stuff down like that, and I don't really look back on them. Like I haven't looked back on this things to do for months, things to manifest. I haven't looked back on this stuff for months. And now here's one where I was doing scripting. Now scripting is the journal throughout the day of I'm writing down like the stuff that happened in my day that I liked. And if something happened in my day I didn't like that I couldn't drop out of my mind, I would put a revision of it here. So look, this one is, let's look at the last date on it and see how long. Okay. October 20th of 2023 was the last time I wrote in this book. This is a nice book too. And August 9th of 2023 was the first time I wrote in it. So let's see. I journaled on August 9th, and then I skipped 2 days. August 10th. Then I did August 11th. Then I didn't write anything, and it's a small one for August 16th. Then I don't write anything till October 11th. And then October 12th. And October 13th. And then October 16th. And then October 20th, and that's the last one. So if you look, here's how I do it. I'm doing the technique when I'm spiraling or feeling stressed. So I was feeling so out of whatever I was trying to manifest here. I'm not going to read all this. I know it's related to SP at the time. And this was this time last year, or like last month of last year. So, what's it called? And also my handwriting fucking sucks. And like the point is you don't have to reread it. It's just you're venting it out and you're living in the moment. The present moment is like I'm putting down all these positive things right now. So to clear my mind, obviously August 9th, I really needed it. So I did this. But then I had 2 days of my mental diet on check. That means I spiraled again on and that means it may have helped me a little bit, but August 11th, I still needed it. And then I was fine until August 16th. But I didn't really need it that much because it's like a really half-assed, really sloppy, like didn't really care one. And then from August 16th to October 11th, I was fine. Mental diet was fine. And I was probably just doing more sats and stuff like that. And I start out with everything I write becomes fact. And just something, but the fact of me writing that and spacing it out from everything else meant I was really spiraling that day. And this one is just like, this one is actually every night SP dreams of beautiful dreams about me and her. She's constantly thinking about how we can improve our relationship. She, what's it called? I can't fucking read what I wrote. Anyway, it's more or less, those are like statements and affirmations versus that was not even a regular script. And then the next day I was still spiraling. And then that's a journal about stuff that I know that didn't happen at that time too. And it's just telling a story. The next day I was still spiraling, did another one. And then I was fine for like 2-3 days. Then again, I was fine for 4 days. And then again, and then after that, everything was fine. And actually that's when I was using robotic affirming. I remember at this time last year, robotic affirming as well. And that's what cleared it out. But to answer, long way to answer your question, Bart. When I do list methods of stuff or write things down in a certain way, I know I don't have to go to. When something's really bothering me, I will, in terms of writing and scripting things, I will just go back again, as much as I need it. If I'm spiraling for a week, every day that week, I'm going to do that, but I'm not going to sit there all day doing it all day, like compulsively. It's like whatever moment of the day that's really bad for me, I will go and do it then. All right, and if SP is watching, I'm going to try your cigar now. I was supposed to send her the link. I know she gets notified, but sometimes it doesn't notify her. And we're going to use your lighter too, and I'm going to read these comments. Okay. Yes, and gratitude helped me find an SP who accepts my freak flag much more. He's arranged a whole weekend at a Renaissance fair. The Renaissance fair was magical. That's awesome. They got a Renaissance fair down there by you too, Courtney? Maybe if it's still going on, I'll take a road trip. I've been thinking to go somewhere. A solo trip. I haven't taken one, and she got to go. She got to go on a solo trip, so I want to take one. So give me recommendations. Maybe I'll do one in October. Maybe New Orleans in October. I love Halloween time. See, Zach, brother, what's up? I know it's because I'm accepting myself more. Exactly, when the more the world's a mirror, so the more accept yourself, the more you're out there. I just don't care anymore. The harder you try, the harder you resist. Yeah, and what you resist, you persist, right? Ink? Robotic affirming is legit. Yes, it is. Gary, what's up, brother? See, I was just talking about you too, Gary. I said I haven't heard from Gary in a couple of weeks. And I did picture your name coming up saying yo right there, like you always do. And doing ironing and watching The Punisher. There you go, even better too. I love The Punisher. I was thinking about restarting that series the other day. No, I was just talking about you too, Gary, because Bart clipped something. I said, usually Gary's the one who clips things, and I'm working on two edits that I'm like saving clips for. For me, it's personally harder to like, even with a strong self-concept, I'm lazy to listen to myself. And a little bit like you don't like listening to your own voice because it's like, what did I say here? What did I say? What's important that I said? That's why I said, if you guys know things I said, do it. But I'm like, usually Gary's the one who points out, hey, you said this important thing here. But I was telling everyone that I'm working on some edits, like one between like Tom Platz's motivational things that are like manifesting related along with mine. And then kind of like how they mirrored like his stuff that I was listening to while I was training for the show. And then a little bit of our conversation. I'm like, I got to boost the audio. So anyway, yeah, Gary, long story short, I was just talking about you. I'm like, I got to reach out to him. I haven't talked to him in a while. And I thought about Ink today too. I was like, man, I got to reach out to Ink and see how she's been. I haven't talked to her in a while. And then she messaged me and she goes, how you doing? And usually Courtney's like that too. Damn, if you go to New Orleans, pick me up. Well, I would have to double back Ink, but I'm not opposed to it. I just got to get more time off or just go full time into Mystic. See how I make positive like jokes about something that I haven't done yet, but I don't feel resistance towards it because it's like, okay, one, I accept the fact of having a day job. And two, I think the story I tell myself on this too is like, and the only way to be a pure coach is that I have to, resist doing it full time because then I'm dictated by the money. And it's like, no, that's a limiting belief, but I think that's something that I have stored away. It was the first year and it was shockingly good. And I'm used to the Pennsylvania Ren Fair. It was really good. All right, that's awesome. So if it's still going on, maybe I'll go down there. I only got to enjoy a couple hours of the one up in Wisconsin. We got a late start on it. Reach out, I'm around anytime. Sounds good, brother. I'm going to probably send you a message after this because I'm like, I had some editing questions, but it's like I got everything on my phone. I prefer to edit on the computer, but it's like I'm out and about throughout the day so much. It's like I'm sitting at work and there's nothing to do, and I got the phone there, and it's like trying to edit on the phone. It's just to me, I get annoyed with editing enough when I can't figure something out. So that's even worse. And just getting time to, maybe I should put that TV in here so I got a distraction in here so I could edit videos and work on the website because I stay out of this room unless I'm doing live. And that's why the room is always messy, and that's why I have not worked on that website enough. But Gary, you got the patience always with your editing. Like you put together solid stuff and have the patience to do it. My new SP is from New Orleans. He will be a great tour guide. He used to bartend in the French Quarter. Terrible stories. They sound like awesome stories. Anything terrible could be awesome at one point. Editing can be done on a good desktop computer with the right tools. Exactly, Gary. And I mean, we got it here. We got the best tools we need. We got the Adobe stuff, and I've got a MacBook, or not, whatever the Mac fucking desktop is. And I've got to bring the other computer here, the actual PC, which I learned to edit on the PC. It's slightly different, but I learned how to edit there. Nan, what's up? Good to see you as well. I'm glad you caught us as well. Yeah, we were talking about mainly today. It's like about the present moment, and there's a little recap on it. It's like, the only time you're noticing, like we've talked about this a lot of times. It's like time goes by, and actually, I had a question about this today too, from somebody asking me on Discord. Which, by the way, Discord appears to be working properly now. I think Gary was able to sort out all the kinks in there. There could be a dirty joke there somewhere. Gary's fixing all the kinks, but I think everything has worked out pretty well there. But the question brought up on Discord was about, it was an SP thing, but the person was noticing a 1 year, how long it took. And it's like, and it's still not all the way. And I'm noticing movement. It's like when you get burned out, it's kind of what we've been talking about. When you get burned out and you kind of step back and you accept the fate of like, okay, this is not going to happen. Not that it's not, but there is a reality where it doesn't. There's a reality where it does. You accept both realities. And, it sucks to accept one, but it's like, that's not the version you're going to live. You're going to live this. And the only way you can live it now, this is the only way you can live something you're not experiencing now is in your imagination. If you can't physically do anything to change it, the only way you can live something positive that's not happening now is in your imagination. So go there, accept this reality, and go there. That helps you detach. Now there's no more pressure. You accept all realities, and you know creation is finished. Terrible meaning, Mr. Burns hand rubbing. What the hell? Oh, evil like that, Mr. Burns. I was picturing Mr. Burns walking up to your SP and rubbing his hand while he's bartending. I was like, that's kind of weird. I want to go on a ghost hunt there. That would be a good ghost hunt down there. I manifested a relationship with my sister again after 4 years of not talking. See, there you go, man. So you know that, it's not just specific person means relationship. It's a relationship with anybody. I've done it with shitty bosses or people who I've had beef with friends who I've had falling out with, you with your sister. I worked with somebody who had rebuilt a relationship with her parents and her sisters. So, it's possible. All relationships can be repaired. Everyone is a specific person at some point, and the story you're telling yourself could be limiting. I was talking to someone the other day, and she has reserves against a certain church, and a situation brought her to where she had to be at that church. And at this church, she said that she felt judged and judged. Everybody was looking at her. They were arrogant or this or that. And she had preconceived notions about that particular church and the people who go there based off a negative past events. So why so many years later you go back to the same place that no one has changed? Well, you could just make the argument that's just the way life is. People don't change, this and that. But what is your self-concept and your expectation when you went in there? When I talked to this woman about it, it's like we talk about, the world is a mirror. You feel like you're going to be judged when you walk in there. And whether it's conscious or subconscious, you already have things that you think you're going to be judged for. And when you walk in, they're going to be looking at you at this certain way. And it's not just a church. That's just the example. You could go into a gym. So many people go into the gym and they're heavier. I'll tell you this as someone who's been around a gym my entire life. If you go in there to work out, nobody's really looking at you. Now, there might be some jerk-offs who do, and they say shit, but at the same time, they're not saying it to your face. What they're saying has no effect on you. But you walk through the gym and everyone's staring at you, looking at you. Those are things you're perceiving. It's kind of like that thing where it's like, okay, close your eyes, and I want you to tell me everything in this room that you see is blue. And then when you come back, I say, all right, name me what was red. And you can't name me what was red. You're looking at, okay, that's blue, that's blue. You know what? If you look at that black thing over here in a certain light, maybe it looks like a navy blue. You're looking for reasons to find blue. So when you go somewhere and you're looking for negative, even if there's no negative, you will find things that look kind of negative and call them negative. And our goal is to find things that are positive and look at them positive, or take negatives that are perceived and turn them into positives. It works both ways. It's energy. You could change what an energy is and means. What energy is by changing the meaning. Let's see. Yes, great place to go. I went to Marie Levis's tomb. Let's go. I don't know who that is. The only way I don't know who that is. It sounds fun, but I don't know who that person is, unless I mispronounced the name. The only way I was able to do it was by letting go of the old story. The old story was present. The old story was the present story, what I was currently experiencing. Exactly, Nan. So yeah, by letting it go, it's not just like you're making a conscious decision that it's like, okay, it's no longer this way. It's no longer, no, it's just like removing your energy from it, like your attention, removing your attention from it, which removes your energy. So either have no thoughts on the old story or change the meaning of the old story. That is the quickest way to kill off the old story. Levis was a badass woman. I don't know. I still don't know who it is. All's well in the world. SP checked in on me. There you go, Austin. Nick, I forgot your package. Oh, I haven't forgotten your package. I can't get to the post office yet. Hey, there's no hurry on it, Inked. I was actually just checking my mail today, and I was down there. I was waiting on my meals to be dropped off because I get them delivered now. I'm not tired of driving. I was waiting down there, and I was like, I stood in the mailroom. I'm like, what am I forgetting? There's something here, and I saw I had another package, but it was a gift for somebody, and I told the person about the gift that it was, and he was seemed very underappreciative of it. So I'm like, I don't give a fuck if I pick it up or not. So I might just return that. Oh, I had an immediate manifestation the other day. I said, I really don't want to run into so-and-so, and 2 hours later saw them at a tiny butcher shop 3 counties from their house. That's the thing, Courtney. That's actually funny because on Saturday I had that same experience. So it was this old group of friends I used to hang out with, and I was telling my brother about this as an example for manifesting and about the parallel realities. I'm like, when you remove attention from a certain person and you say, I just don't want them in my life anymore, they might be contacting you still. They might be showing up. It's like, no, you know what? We always talk about attracting people in, but let's say the opposite. Okay, you're trying to keep someone out of your life. You're removing attention from them. Maybe you block, maybe you just ignore their messages or whatever, and you go on about your life. You don't think about them. They send you a message. Okay, you see it, and then you forget it immediately. You're going on. And when I broke ties with this old group, it's like, over time, it's like, I never see them on social media. I don't see them in public. I don't see these people anywhere. And this works with third parties too. When it's not trying to get rid of the third party, the reason of writing letters and stuff like that is so that you can release the attachment to the fact of that story and let it go. Let it go and let God sort it out. You leave it alone, and by removing your attention, it has no choice but to live or to fall off, and that you live in the reality you want. So anyway, I removed my attention from these guys and stuff. And I'm like, I'm pretty sure all of them blocked me. I'm like, I have no contact with any of them. Nobody's reached out to me. They removed me from the group chat, stuff like that. And I'm like, and I was telling my brother, I'm like, pretty sure I'm not even like on any of that stuff anymore. But I'm like, I haven't seen them. I'm like, but watch, now that I talked about them, I'm like, and I'm picturing them, I'm remembering some of the memories. We told some stories. I'm like, I'm going to run into them or see them somewhere. And that's Saturday. Like an hour later, I'm waiting for my relief to come at work. Okay, let me tell the story before I keep playing games with this. I'm waiting for my relief to come at work, and I'm scrolling through social media, and that whole group showed up. I guess one guy didn't block me and never really showed up, all of them on the thing, and I was like, isn't that crazy? Because I haven't thought about them, don't really care to run into them, and it's like I seen that. And then like later on that week at the gym, this happened Saturday. And was it Saturday afternoon? Was it the same afternoon that I seen him at the gym? I've seen one of those guys at the gym. Well, it's crazy. They're not in your reality. You start thinking about them again, then signs show up. I decided to tell the other story. No, not today. Instead, I said, my sister is good. She loves me. She values me. And God in the universe, you'll fix this somehow. But I leave it in your hands. And then I would say, thank you for fixing it. Man, that's awesome. That's a great That's putting the trust in something greater than yourself, and knowing that because you have such faith in God, it's like, I'm giving it to you. That I've done that before with stuff where it's like, I don't know how to fix it. I can't think of the story. Because remember, at the end of the day, the how is none of your business. It doesn't matter how something's going to happen. God's going to figure that out for you at the end of the day anyway. So you're letting go, let go and let God. It's like, I trust that's going to get done. And that amount of faith and love in God and the universe to like bring things to you, that's what it's. And you let it go. I ditched my cart, sat in my car, dropping the need works really quick. LOL. Yes, it does. What is the science behind manifesting? Like, how does it work? Tutu, let me try to think. I think you asked me this question before. The science is not really my forte because this kind of goes into the how, which I just mentioned right now. The how. It's not our job to figure out the how, and it's. When I went into it, it was like I was watching. Like, if you want the science and the real breakdowns of it, Joe Dispenza does talk a lot about that. He'll scientifically break it down. Get a subscription to Gaia and watch stuff about it. Listen to some of Bashar's stuff. Goes from really esoteric and mystical to scientific. But really, at the end of the day, it's you walking in faith. Do you believe it's going to work? Like, when I was feeling so horrible, I'm like, I have no other choice. It's like I've tried Contact. I've watched when it came to the SP stuff, it's like I have no other choice. I've tried this, I've tried that, I've tried to I watched psychologists to talk through relationship stuff. I've presented facts. I was the nice guy. I was the guy who spoiled her. Took her on trips. It's like all these things. It's like, what else do I have there? I'm blocked. I can't contact. I'm only experiencing the worst version. The only thing I had was the power of my imagination and to choose to only focus on good in the face of bad. That's all I had. So when I did that, it's like I have no other choice but to go in faith because that's the only thing that's going to work. And it's like whether it's real or not, it makes me feel good. And I went with that, and then I started to prove the stuff. So scientifically, I can't show you studies. I know Joe Dispenza's got the stuff where they hook people's brains up and they manifest on behalf of these other people. They keep track of the people and tabs on it. I've never done a legit scientific experiment on it. I only preach off of what I've experienced in life. What I've read in Neville's stuff and Joseph Murphy and Florence Scovel Shinn, in the Bible, in the other religious texts, in the Stoicism texts, what I've experienced and the people I've worked with and their experiences and personal people in my life that I've taught this to and they've experienced it. Like right now, I mean, my friend who you guys remember, he comes on the channel sometimes, Josh. He was manifesting a certain home in an area that was out of his price range. He got the exact thing he was looking for to the T in the neighborhood that he wanted that was out of his price range, but he found a place at his price range, and everything he wanted came to pass. And it was just after a couple times where we just talked through it. I'm like, tell me about the place. Tell me this. And he was drinking too, not advocating for drinking, but sometimes you're you lower your resistance while you're doing that, but don't become an alcoholic. Don't overdrink. I've done that before too. Not an alcoholic, but I was over drinking at a period of time, not for manifestation, but just too much. It's not a good, just partying too much. But anyway, it was I just told him walk me through it again, take me through it again, take me through it again. And sometimes that's the thing. It's we're having fun and we're making jokes. And it's sometimes you're adding a joke into it. It's it would be like him telling me, tell me about your house. Oh, I've got this wall and it's green and this one over here is blue and that one's pink right here that you guys can't see, but I keep the pink one hidden. And then it'll be oh, why is one wall green? Oh, because I was going to turn it into a green screen or a green room. And it's oh, so you'd have to turn the whole room green? And I just keep making jokes about it. And it's okay, I'm describing the place I live. So it's by him making jokes repetitively, he's kind of seeing the place that he's going to live in and making jokes about it, and it becomes real. Gary says, quantum physics states that everything is energy. So when you're not observing, everything returns to energy. When you start to assume, the energy field changes to match the observer's assumption. Easiest way I can describe it on here. Gary, that's a better way than I could have described it, so thank you for that. Yeah, I suppose you could study more of the quantum physics and stuff. I mean, even when I was watching, do you guys remember when I went through my literally me phase of being Oppenheimer? Because when I watched that movie, I was holy shit, they're talking about stuff that could be construed in a manifesting frame, which it was their theories and stuff. And it's even some of their quotes from those guys back then, those scientists, it's that sounds very manifesty. Zesty manifesty. Oh, good. I drank way too much this weekend, but it tasted good. There you go. And then I stopped. Good, good, good. I still have a picture of when my old name was on the wall behind you. LOL. Oh, you do have. I forgot. Yeah, I was writing people's names on the board. I took my shirt off and because I spilled the paint on the ground, I was using my shirt to dab it up. We did have some good lives, some crazy lives back then. I was thinking about returning to that. Um, TikTok will ban me if they see this. I was thinking to go on TikTok, but I would rather because I like the group we got here. I would rather give you guys a heads up and then you guys go on TikTok, just so I know I got my core group of people. Man, that was almost a year ago or 2 years ago when I first moved in. I was doing that. You guys got any more questions? I know we're coming up on an hour here, 10 minutes to an hour. There is a video uploading right now. I don't know if it's up already, but I wanted to do a quick thing on the present moment. So we've had 60 minutes. By the time we're done, we'll have 60 minutes of present moments, unless you guys got more questions. And then if you guys want to on Discord, I know we got a little discussion kicked off. I'm going to post some success stories that I got on there. And I'm thinking to maybe today, whoever's on there, right after this. No, not after this. I want to make a community post about it, but I want to do a little chat room in there, test it out, see how that work goes. If it gets too swarmed with people and too many voices talking, it won't work. But it's an experiment. But on on Discord, we got a little discussion open right now. We're talking about stuff, and it was timing and things like that. So I think I'll write a post about it on there. I started a discussion board on that specific topic, post some success stories, post some videos that I've been watching lately, and go from there. 200 more questions for me. Well, you got 10 minutes, John. Okay, sorry, I was driving and eating a hoagie at the same time, so I dipped out for a second. Oh, you're good. Tell me the best way to scientifically explain manifesting is definitely to deep dive on a double slit experiment and also a book on the holographic universe. Holographic Universe is a great book. I've read that one before too by Michael Talbot. That is a great book. And the double slit experiment is great too. It is what Gary was just saying up there too. It's like when you stop observing it, it disappears or it does whatever it wants to do. But when you're focused on it and you expect it to do a certain thing, it does. She said you don't need to apologize. Hoagies come first. Hit me up with the Discord link for sure. I'm gonna send you the Discord link now. Courtney, send me a text if you can't get it through there, but try through the link tree that I put at the bottom of every video, because we had a new person sign up today and she started a discussion and everything like that, and that's what led me to think everything's good on it. If you guys want, or anybody, I'm gonna drop another link to a community post. If you guys want to sign up on there and look at it, let me know what's if you're having issues. I need to know. But I will send that. I will send it right now, Courtney. No, let me just do it right now while I'm thinking about it, because I will forget while we're waiting for the last questions. But we're down to the final 3 people. That dropped really quick. And then we could let's see. How do I invite? Give me the invite link. Okay. Never. I wanted to save it on never. Save. It will never. Max use is unlimited. Okay. So copy link. And then I'll send it over to you and you let me know what happens. Down to the final viewer, and I think that is you, Courtney. If it is, then seeing as you're the member here, we'll do a members only live, and I'll make a notification on that. Otherwise, it's just going to be me and you chatting in there. Because I want to fulfill that because you're paying for it. So my post-grad is actually in physics, and kind of funny because there's 2 different schools of physics. Yeah, that's what I noticed. That seems to be like there's 2 different ones. Actually, no questions at the moment, but I might manifest myself to have a question for you later. Sounds good, John. You know how to reach me, email or on Discord or on Instagram or in the comment section. Newtonian, which is gravity and basically all the big stuff, but then falls upon when you get to small stuff, which is one of the scientists originally called quanta. That's when quantum physics came from. Once we get into micro, everything behaves completely different. So it goes from Newtonian physics, where everything follows rules, to quantum physics, where everything is observational. Okay, I'll text you when I get home, but right now I'm driving and eating a hoagie and dictating speech to your comments. Sounds good. I like to think of it as a new neurological pathway, and therefore we see it, that we burned it into our subconscious. That's also good too. I'm a fucking South Philly hoagie mouth. Yeah, the science part is, I like the science to it, and I was going through my where is it? I forgot his name already. Who's the guy we watched the movie on? But he was literally me with the pipe. It's still sitting here from the prop. But anyway, my brain's burned out. So with that, if you guys don't have any more questions, I'm going to enjoy the rest of this cigar. There should be a video up with you guys momentarily. And then if you want to join the Discord, I'm gonna make a post on it right now. I'm gonna wait and see what happens with Courtney stuff. I'll make a post on that. We'll try to have our little meeting there. And then from there, yeah, just stay tuned. I'll be around. Oppenheimer, thank you, Inked. Have a good day, man. Talk to you later. You as well, John. It's good to see you as always. Thank you, everyone, for coming on. I appreciate and love all you guys. I will see you very soon. You should have a video up with you right now if it loaded. But if not, there's that. And I'm going to make a community post before I go live on TikTok, whether it's today or tomorrow or whenever. I'm trying to force myself to do that because you know what? You got to be the man in the arena, just like my little plaque in the Theodore Roosevelt statement says. Just to conquer that fear of going on there. There is a little bit of a fear to it because it's like, do I got to roast people? Because TikTok, I feel like TikTok was more positive when it started, and then it became more full of trolls versus YouTube being a trolling site, and then it was like that. But maybe that's just my observations. So we'll see. With that, love you guys very much, and I will see you around.